And welcome back to VCT Verizon Game Changers, where we're going to bring you guys another best of 3 from the lower bracket this time. I'm your host, Yingsu, and I'm joined by Miss Harvey and Evil Cat. Mimi, we spoke about this matchup already before the break, but how difficult and how different do you feel like this is going to be for CLG, given that they did struggle a little bit in their matchup against Moon Raccoons?
Yeah, I think, I was talking about it a little bit before the break, like you mentioned, that I think it's going to be difficult because the style that TSM plays is also very quick, very execution heavy, similar to the Moon Raccoons, where they're comfortable playing retake, where they're comfortable just sending it into a site. And once that momentum got rolling on those two things, that was CLG's crux. They couldn't pull back into it after that. So I'm nervous for them. They need to switch things up from what we saw last time if they want a chance to stay alive in the tournament.
Yeah, and we also have to think into account that TSM is probably looking forward to this matchup. They're probably really excited because they saw there was a little bit of weaknesses onto CLG's red side. But the thing is that if you look at TSM's tournament run, they're in the same boat as CLG Red. They're struggling. Nothing has really been put into place. Yes, we see great stuff, but I was doing some research earlier. You should see the amount of swaps that they did between the agents all throughout this tournament. Most of their players swap between 3 agents, so things are not set in stones when it comes to TSM. That can be a strength, meaning like we don't really know what they're doing, but at the same time it could also be a lack of depth, a little bit like we saw with CLG Red versus Moon Raccoon earlier.
Well, Mimi, you know, for those at home who aren't super familiar with what TSM have been up to, because of course, you know, they are playing with a substitute, a stand-in right now. Tell me about how they sort of managed to get to the point they are over this tournament.
I mean, yeah, they started things off with the game against Dignitas, which was, I think, the closest best of 3 we've seen throughout the tournament. Every single one of those games is going down to the wire. And for them, just narrowly, they couldn't pull through. They got knocked down to the lower bracket, and they've made a run there into this game. But the thing about TSM, like you mentioned, is that Lunar Cats, who was previously playing for them, she's not playing with them anymore. They had a last-minute substitute in for Arianarchist, and I think that from what we've seen from TSM, even though they lost that series, she seems kind of plug and play. I feel like she's fitting in with the TSM roster really well, and while it was a loss, it was still close, and I loved what I saw from TSM. So I think if they keep that style up, and if they can just find a little more consistency into it, they have a great chance against CLG here.
And I have to say that on TSM, coming into this tournament, I was looking forward to seeing Kat play. She was, for me, one of the key players when it comes to that team. But unfortunately, she hasn't really delivered as much as we wanted. It's been more like a Tina, which is, she was a sleeper for me. I didn't expect her to come up that big, not because, you know, she's not a good player, but on her CS team, she's never been really been that carry. She's always doing great, but not that carry that she has been for TSM while we've seen them in the bracket. So we're looking at the roster here. I know on the bottom you see a lot of TSM's agents, but let me tell you, it's all over the place when it comes to TSM. I think only one player has been playing 2 characters. Everybody else is playing different agents. So it's been quite a wild ride trying to analyze their team. And you might say they don't know, like if they don't know what they're doing, their opponents don't know what they're doing either. That's something that we love to say when you're playing on a team. So it might be what TSM is aiming for here.
Yeah, I mean, just on the other side of that. Oh, sorry, Mimi, go on.
Oh, no, I was just going to say, I think that chaos factor is what's really big about them.
Yeah.
In that they strive in that. They're very good at those quick executions. And that, again, I mean, I kind of keep bringing this up because it's so important. That's what CLG struggles the most with.
I do think on the other side of TSM sort of trying to find their feet, we saw Ari yesterday whip out a Viper from literally nowhere and was unbelievable on it. And I do feel a little bit nervous for CLG because TSM were playing post plants so well, and as we saw earlier, CLG was struggling in that department a little bit. But let's move on to picks and bans, because this is often where games are sort of won and lost. And of course, after the early picks and bans, I'm not expecting too many surprises, but Steph, Split, Icebox, and Haven, what do you make of this?
Well, I like the Icebox pick from CLG Red. You know, it's It's one you have to see because TSM is so new. They're probably not as strong onto Icebox, and I think the split is going to be where it's happening. You know, CLG runs away with split. This could be their chance at closing a quick 2-0 this game. And as you saw, CLG played split earlier, so they are kind of warmed up on it. That could backfire because TSM looked and saw their tendencies, but at this point into the tournament, especially with such a chaotic split that we just saw, don't think there's that much tendencies to kind of analyze, and CLG might just adjust in time their playstyle to be able to face a team like TSM on it.
What's interesting, though, I think that TSM probably won these picks, and I say that for two reasons. First of all, talking about Split, which was their choice into this, they're good on Split. Yes, they lost it yesterday, but like I talked about, it was such a close affair, and I think the way they play Breach there, the way they are just very explosive, they set themselves up for success, is really good from TSM, and the Split that came out of CLG earlier wasn't really up to snuff. And then, if we talk about Icebox, CLG taking us there feels a little strange to me, because you mentioned, Yinsu, that like the Viper, the post-plant play, everything that was out of TSM seems like they're strong on that map. Like, they have a good chance in this, so I feel like they're probably going to come out on top, at least in way of map bans here.
Yeah, I'm really excited for Icebox. Give me a Viper and I'll be happy, every day of the week. In the first matchup, you guys did pick out a couple players to do like a head-to-head, and I believe, we saw Benita, we saw Lori in those stats, and we do have another one here for TSM. Of course, you have to put Benita in there again. And Steph, TSM, admittedly, they might not have as much of sort of like an individual fragging ability as perhaps we saw earlier from Moo Raccoons, but these stats aren't bad, are they?
Yeah, and these two players for me are key because they're the players that have the most experience in the server right now. Benita and Kat are coming from decades of Counter-Strike championships, not just games, but just overall championships. They've been at the top of the world when it comes to CSGO. And in the server, usually Kat is that firepower. She's your kind of secret weapon where she's having fun and she's playing around and disrupting the opponents. But yesterday, that's not what I saw versus Dig. She was the one a little bit at the bottom of the scoreboard. She's not even in-game leading for TSM this weekend. So it's Athena. So not only Athena was top fragging, but she was also in-game leading. So I want to see Kat kind of perform today. I want her to explode. I want her to be the Kat that we've seen in other games. It looks like maybe she's trying to feel for TSM because she's such a good player. She's like, okay, you guys play whatever you want and I'll fill with the best that I can. So that might be a reason why she's a little bit behind. Who knows? But today they're going to need a strong Cat versus CLG Red because it can't just rely on the other players of TSM to win these rounds. I
mean, yeah, I think that the head-to-head we had there is kind of the battle of this old guard, the people who were experienced that did big things in Counter-Strike and in other games in their past, but now it's been kind of mixed over in Valorant. I think Benita, we talked about her going into that first one. It says Sova up there, but I expect her to probably maybe be on that breach. It's going to depend a little bit because they do change that comp more over on Split and Icebox, so a little different. But I think that Benita, in her role in calling and also in her role of kind of finding impact as an individual, like when we saw her on the Reyna, it's huge. She's kind of that backbone of the team. And for Kath, that's what me and Steph kind of expected to see based off her experience, but I'm not sure if that came through in that first match. So we'd love to see Kath find a little more impact, find a little more stride, and maybe that's another opportunity for TSM to kind of keep going in this.
Well, there's a lot on the line here because this is elimination, so whichever team loses today will be going and out of the tournament. With the maps, picks, and bans in mind now, Mimi, which team do you think this is going to favor? What's your prediction here?
I'm saying 2-0 TSM. I think they take this in Storm. The CLG I saw isn't convincing, and I think TSM are going to be able to clean this up. I think the maps will be close, but I think it's probably going to be TSM out on top.
Okay, I have to go with 8-2-1 CLG. First of all, objectively on paper, I still want to go with CLG, but my heart is also with CLG. So I love that Mimi always agree to disagree when it comes to whoever's going to win. And sometimes she wins, sometimes I win, but hopefully I want to see CLG bring it today in the server, especially on Split Yinzu.
Yes, well, they are going to go into game now, and both of these teams are going to want to win, so I cannot wait to find out who's going to be right. Steph or Mimi, take this away.
Yeah, and now into this
Thank
TSM. I mean, it's the same thing we saw yesterday, right? Steph out from TSM, and it's also the exact same thing we just saw out of CLG in terms of comp. So nothing really special that I'm seeing in the server right now.
Yeah, nothing special. TSM Cat onto the Sage. We also have a Sage Mirror. Animal has been playing Sage all weekend, so there's absolutely no surprise there. CLG versus TSM. I'm trying to see. Okay, only the Breach is different. We have a Breach and a Reyna, so that's the only. We always have a mirror match here coming in, and I really want to see if TSM is just not going to be like, you know what? Let's just copy exactly what Moon Raccoon did here and try to get away to CLG skin. But as we're getting ready in the server, me super excited to be bringing the action onto the VALORANT stream. The VCT Verizon Game Changers, the second game of the game, the elimination game for the first time onto the mainstream. CLG versus TSM, a classic.
A classic matchup, as you say, a huge one for both of these teams. They're both orgs with something to prove, picking up these rosters. Both orgs that want to do proud in this tournament, and one of them is going to be sent home in the middle. Emily, she's kind of one of these big players, sole duelist, and she's up quick, but so is Benita. Pushing down into mid, she'll find Ari. But Emily's trying to wrap back into play here, ready, but the alarm bot still doubles the damage on her, and it makes it easy for Animal. Now, Zoe has a spike down on B, and they're actually going for the CT side take. We've seen them do this a couple times. They're ready to fight. Flash up, here it comes, and the blind is perfect for Kath to get one. A second as well now for the TSM players, and they have this into even odds. Chobo, a little nervous to keep pushing as Athena finds one on site. So suddenly, CLG, they find themselves at a disadvantage. Benita is up on the site, but Utility still keeps her at bay. A dink from Zoe, and the turret could even finish her off here. Chobo, though, holding up top. I don't think they have utility left, so they have to fight. They get her off the spike, one up top, and Chobo finds one, but the trade good through. TSM, how did they pull that off?
I like that push spawn. It's exactly what you need to see. You cannot let CLG get control of that map once you lose two. You know, CLG had such a great beginning of round, but that pop flash into spawn, that breach difference here with Zoe. And I don't know if it's Kat that said, hey, let's retake this spawn, or I don't know who made that call, but that was a great call. After that, CLG not able to bounce back, losing so many players into that fight. Props to TSM for not allowing CLG to win that retake. This is what I want to see from CLG on their attacking side. This is what that was lacking versus Maroon. Versus Moon
Not
Raccoon.
again. Oh no, I thought we were past that
I
phase.
removed the post-it.
Oh god, how could this have happened? Animal has the Bucky. She really loves this weapon. Let's see if she can do anything with it. Benita also has a shotgun of her own, and Animal gets that first one. In comes Benita, spamming away, but they're ready. Animal still has the trade for even odds with Zoe, and her eyes will recover that ever-present eye on Bucky, but the utility spamming away, keeping her eyes at bay for now. She wants to peek out. They want the spike down, and Naomi stops that for now, but Emily has the trade back. A 2-on-2. So close, and Chobo has the HP to peek out here, but a dark cover keeps them away for now. Spike's still on the floor. It's not even in the ground, and they're pushing out, but Kath finds it, closes that up for TSM.
This is really scary, but again, TSM, when their back is against the wall, they're stuck in that corner. Someone is making a move here, and they're like, you know what? Let's fight that person pillar. There was so much hesitation from Shobo around it. I wish that she had that confidence to just kind of swing and peek, but she's like blocking her teammate around that wall. It was kind of awkward with everything that happened. I like to see that CLG, though, dropped a lot of the TSM player, but unfortunately for them, they're going to be on another really not great buy. I was about to use the S word. You know, keeping me in check, Mimi, all the time.
Has to happen. Only up mid here. Has a Spectre, and she will check, but not soon enough. Great double dink from Benita. She's actually trying to find more here. Good damage onto Zoe. The aftershock will come out, but Benita's already left. Happy with the little run and gun. Get away with things, but look how much Zoe has farmed this Ultorp. She already has Rolling Thunder up to bat.
Benita got a quickie eel here, though, so it's like she's all fresh and washed up. lead by 1 with the breach at half HP. This could be dangerous for TSM, although CLG is on a really weak buy. Just the fact that all of CLG is ready for that corner and that paranoia is going to come in. It's not a paranoia, my bad. The dark cover, and look at this. The kills are getting exchanges all in the hands of Ari here in a 1 versus 3.
Trapped behind the box now, needs to fight her way out, has the first, but so much damage done. Now into a 1-on-2, and through the box, Animal finds her. So, CLG, they reply, and that was a lot of investment from TSM for just a bonus round.
Yeah, really great round by CLG. The reads, it all started with the kill, Benita and mid. That kill really forced TSM, you know, kind of to pick a decision. Let's pick a side. Let's fall back. You know, we lost a player. We're not able to trade. So Benita keeping that control of heaven, at least. That intel, hearing that all of TSM was going back towards A, kind of gambling on it, really was key here. And we're going to see our first operator of the game with a really small buy from TSM.
Not a lot invested in for them. Animal in mid. She loves hopping up onto this wall. We saw her do it a lot earlier on here on Split, and Animal wants to fight a little bit more. She'll have to suffice with 1 for the moment. CLG Red have positioning towards mid, but Naomi spamming through the smoke. Nita still holding with the off towards B, and CLG with this lighter buy don't seem to be finding a way into it.
Cool and collected kills coming out of Naomi. TSM is just taking their time. They're trying to see if they can catch someone off guard, being NC here, watching their flank. CLG being really disciplined, and this is what we like to see. Only Animal was kind of playing around middle, but now that she's running out of utility, playing a more defensive setup, and we have 3 players from CLG towards that beat. It looks like that's where TSM is heading at.
Yeah, it does look to be the direction for now, but they still have disadvantageous odds. In comes Rise for 1, looking for another. Might just get it over to the Sheriff. The Bucky shot's not hitting. How is she still alive? Zoe gets it, but her teammate falls to Bonita, and Zoe will be dealt with as well. So CLG, they do well in the anti-eco to only lose 1.
Yeah, this is a great round from CLG. This also is probably putting in place, like, you know, that discipline I just talked about, and also the way that the comm scene's a little bit better. But I don't want to give too props to CLG, because every beginning of the last 2 matches we saw them on this stream, they were ahead. They seemed to have that cool, calm, collected situation, and it kind of backfired on them. So this time, TSM getting ready right outside at A. I think we're going to see an explosive setup coming out of them.
Yeah, Bonita trying to get the timing on the op shot, but it won't happen. Now this is what we see a lot from TSM. Quick executes, going fast upwards with those breach flashes. We see them find space towards heaven, towards ramp. They'll start to wait their way into this one. Pushing up, so much space to work with. But still, many players waiting on the A site. They have nothing to really work here. And a flank is of opportunity soon. Here comes the op from Bonita. Good for 1. That's Emily taken out of the round, and she wants to keep fighting, but the player in hell is gone. But the flank from Animal comes through, and CLG, they just take it away from there, only losing 1 in the round.
That's what we were not seeing last game of CLG. These crossfires winning so much time for the rotate to be happening. I don't know if you saw, it was a little scary. TSM was crushing onto Benita, but it didn't matter because Rise was pushing, flanking. All of CLG was converging. So even though there was a split defense here, they were winning so much time and not falling for all of the players to converge on TSM. And this is gonna push TSM to be on a 5-man Sheriff here onto round number 6.
Yeah, the op, almost the collide. I think it may have connected, but great shot from Ari. Resurrection, though, immediately back in play. Zoe wants to try and get this pick just over the box. She can't spot it. Up top goes Animal, doing the old classic up on the wall, but nothing working quite yet. We see Killjoy postured with the ult towards a site, and they'll rotate over to work off of this. Bonita's on a quick rotate, but it will have to be the retake play for CLG most likely here. Chobo jumping for information. She wants to see that this is committal. And now she'll know, actually still fighting. She's not smoked off, but the swarm grenade might suffice. She wants to peek out, but nothing will come quite yet. So TSM, 4v5, they have the site control.
I like these bumpers here. And TSM, as we saw a little bit earlier, they're not trying to stay in the side. They don't want to be pinched. They were trying to push for spawn, but kind of unsuccessful. Let's see if CLG is able to retake that bomb side. It's a 5 versus 4 as CLG decides to get in. They didn't clear corners. Actually, they did. Zoe was in the back of you all, and no one falls from CLG. This is a flawless round. Totally different CLG in the server so far here as they are in the lead 4-2.
CLG, they're making a case for themselves, especially on these retake plays that they really struggled with that against the Raccoons, but now they're coming into this a little bit more, finding a little bit more to work with. But if we recall that previous matchup, remember how they would always find the early momentum and then it would spit her out. It would just disappear. It would move against them. But this is again a different team, and CLG, they're fired up, I'd imagine, because they know they need to win this. They know elimination is on the line, so it might not be the case here. However, it is a bye round on the cards, and TSM looks split, leaning towards the B side.
The action is going to happen a little bit towards middle, a little slower round here for TSM. Yeah, a double up here towards Hell. Towards Heaven onto B, and that wall here is going to be broken right away. Unfortunately for Animal, she's going to have to retrieve Benita as well. And we're now in completely passive mode as far as CLG's defend goes.
Yeah, they are playing this slow, playing it safe now. And they have a lot of territory to work with into the middle. Heaven still looking the place to execute. The flash is up, but it doesn't hit Benita. So she dismisses away. And Animal's ready, powered up by the blind, but still Zoe finds it. Now the Killjoy lockdown in play. This will keep them off. 45 seconds to work with, though. A rotation is possible, but they have to call soon. And out comes the push. Ari holding tight, trying to hold the line, but Benita's there. And so is Naomi. They each get one of their own. And Kath, 30 seconds left. I think she'll have time if she runs it to A, but still a 1v3. This is tough, Steph.
Really tough. And it doesn't even matter for me if she plants the spike. Yes, it's good for her team. And CLG will have a 1 versus 3 retake. So they're sticking together. They're going to let her try to get that spike. She's confident that there's no one. She has plenty of time to make it still. So CLG is going to be on their retake. Cat, though, Sage in hand, there's not much she can do, and she's gonna have to try to go aggressive here and finding these 1 versus 1. We have one player low onto CLG. It's Benita.
Yeah, and that's the first one. That's huge.
First one to fall. Yeah,
that's great for Kath, because now she has this a little more set off. The wall buys her time to position herself in the site. She needs another fight, gets one. Now she can back away, still full HP. A 1 versus 1 here now. This shouldn't be winnable, but Kath is making it work behind. They're ringing around the Rosie, and I'm not sure if they saw the tail end. Still searching on the site. Kath circling around. Shark in the water, up behind, they'll hear it. Shobo forced off the spike, time so low, and Kath is still kicking it. She'll just win it off the time. How does she pull that off? A 1 versus 3. That seemed impossible, Steph.
And this is where the experience is coming in. The pacing for CLG Red, unfortunately, not able to trade when she got these 2 kills. Although, like, it seemed that they should have, because every time that she got the kill, there was a player also available on their screen to be able to trade it. So CLG here losing at 1v3 is not a good look, but you have to put that behind and really focus onto the next round, because the momentum is still on their side. That round for me is a fluke as far as this game goes, and they cannot let TSM ride that win to later. And that Cat this time is not able to do a 1v3 once again. She's gonna be deleted from the server right away.
That's also a resurrection taken out of play off the rip, which is really a big one to lose. TSM now, they love this mid control, but thus far they haven't found too much from it. Again, this Killjoy on the lurk towards A. And it's slow, as Emily is starting to fall away to recover spike.
In these slow rounds in this game, CLG has been coming out on top, so this could be dangerous for TSM. We talked about how the chaos is what CLG struggles with, but once they can set up their defense and set these trades ready, TSM hasn't really found the answer yet. 8 rounds in.
No real solution. Here comes the Rolling Thunder, though. This allows them to push into heaven. But look at the ramp present from CLG. There's two here. Ready. Paranoia up. Blinds one. Choba holds close. Ready for the frag. And she'll get it onto Ari. Annie Mall, another. CLG picking up the pace here. The flash is good, but the shot is better.
And this is exactly what I was talking about. If you just do really minimal chaos and get into CLG's crosshair, they're coming out on top here today. So you cannot let CLG get comfortable into their defense. You can't give away these early picks. CLG was pushing versus Moon Raccoon too, but Moon Raccoon was coming out on top. And here Benita is able to get a pick, fall back, and then it makes it so much easier onto CLG's back to have to play that 4 versus 5 and just have to force TSM on a save right away after Cat has won a 1 versus 3.
Yeah, TSM here, as you mentioned, on that lower buy. And I like the way Animal's playing this. I don't know if they'll be ready. But what's even more menacing on the horizon is Benita's spot holding the line in main. Stuns up, it'll push her off. Jazz flashes to go out. Benita still falling away, doesn't want to lose the off to the eco. Rise 1, made into so much utility, pressuring. Rise is still kicking it in sight. The op. Oh, I'm not sure how that didn't hit, but it was narrowly close. And Annie Mall's pushing in. She'll just pick up 3-4 kills to get her the resurrection and to convert the anti-eco.
Animal with the quadruple kill. Every time we see her in play on CLG, she's at the top of the scoreboard right now, and she's doing a tremendous work. She gets these doubles, these triples, these quadruple kills all throughout the weekend. But I really like the way that Benita and Rise were able to kind of bait and switch around that pillar. Benita not falling after the initial fault line and being able to go back and watch Rise's back was really key here. It could have been really dangerous. Mimi, it was really scary. You never want to have that op versus a couple of pistol being overwhelmed. That was a really great adjustment really early into the round, and we're gonna have our first pause of the game, and I have to assume it's a TSM one.
Yeah, I mean, this map, after the changes, I think the attacker side, you can thrive on it a little more. And the way that TSM like to play with that flashy, pop, execute kind of stuff, that style is getting shut down right now. They're not able to convert the rounds they do that. They had one from a clutch, the other two are the pistol and the conversion. They haven't won a gun round cleanly yet, at all, in this map. And I think that's why they need to stop. That's why they need to talk, and they need a solution for these last 3 rounds.
Yeah, it's not over for TSM in this round. We can see a 6-6, especially versus the CLG Red that hasn't been that consistent coming into their momentum. They've been kind of shut down multiple times throughout the weekend. So I wouldn't say that this is an undoable situation for TSM. And what I like to see, I mentioned before this game how Kat was going to need to show up today. And she's, in my book, almost the only one that's showing up at the moment. She won that 1 versus 3, but she's been doing a lot of work. On the flip side, Emily has been struggling. She's not really entering into these bomb sides. She haven't seen that raise impact yet so far.
And I also haven't seen that dynamic duo, that Zoe-Emily pair that I love to talk about because I love to see them play, and it's just not happening. Benita's here with the op, the wall keeps her off the line for now. She's still ready here. Not a lot of Reynas will op on this map, but Benita, she does it very well. Possibly a chance here at Zoe's head, just tantalizing around the corner. And TSM, they're still just playing the contact here, playing for the space. And Emily, you said she was having a tough one, and the odds get no better as she is taken immediately out. Annie Mall now holding in close. Resurrection is in her back pocket. The direction for TSM seems to be A, this is the right call, but look at all the utility. And look where Benita is.
She's ready to get some entry frags. And what was that Tina doing? I'm not quite sure. She had her knife out, not ready and expecting Benita to be there at heaven. And CLG still outnumbered even with that resurrection, and lots of ult in play here to secure that B-bomb site.
Have a look at the flank coming in. It's huge from Chobo for 2 frags. Now spiked down. And that'll just be CLG fixing that up in short order. They came through so quickly on the retake on that flank there that there was no time for TSM to even brace themselves. I loved that play.
That slow pacing that TSM is showing to us is exactly how Moon Raccoon was playing in the first 6th round of Blind. And this is where CLG excel at. When you give room for CLG to push, to really control the map, to get these picks and fall back, so far, it has not been working for their opponents. CLG needs to continue in that route because TSM doesn't seem to be adjusting.
Yeah, I mean, half this roster are veterans of CSGO. They know how to play against a slow default where you might catch them off guard is going quickly, rushing, using utility, but it doesn't seem to be happening. Still, Bonita body blocked will still get away. The spray through the smoke does damage. Utility up, they're spamming away, pushing in. Bonita, she's very low, very compromised here, but look at TSM. They're immediately turning an about face and heading towards A. Naomi up top has the swarm. She's ready for this play because she's seen it before, but she's not ready for Zoe. The frenzy for one. And now they have to go on to site, but look where Rise is. A perfect spot to find frags. 2 for 1 into elbow, but TSM, they're actually going into defender spawn here. They want to kill Bonita. They'll get it, but now where do they close? It's B. Look at the spike already over there, and Ari will join. Now CLG, they have to regroup. They have to come back into this, and Ari needs a frag early. Wants a fight. She gets it, but doesn't win it. Chobo, that's massive. Kath would have to do it a little better this time. A 1v4 on the cards. Misses the shot. Trying to peek back in. She needs this kill, but isn't able to get it.
CLG Red closing another round in the ends versus TSM, and we're even going to see a little bit of a spike discussion. Who's getting that last orb as we head into the last round of this first half? Like I mentioned, I want to see a disruptive TSM. I want to see a faster paced TSM. It seems like even when they're getting control of somewhere on the map, let's say they're going fast mid or A main up in heaven, they pause. And that pause is where CLG has been just better, has been on the rotate better, has been on the flank better. So don't pause, continue exploding. This is probably CLG's weakness. And if you do, and I'm loving the mini map, what I'm seeing right now, all of the players from TSM are ready either for a B push, and this is where Bonita might get overwhelmed here.
Yeah, she wants a shot here, and she gets it the tightest line. Emily having no good luck in her fortunes. Ari has the refrag though, but look where Annie Mall is. This is so sneaky. Who would ever expect it? Not Athena. Annie Mall betters her. And a 4v3 now. A work back in for CLG Red and TSM. It feels it's been ages since a post plant for them, but they still aren't finding the success they need. Zoe towards main. They're playing off the spike from that position. She might even go for a flank. But CLG, they're ready on this retake, and out comes the showstopper. They're going in quickly. Rocket connects. That's Ari taking care of Kath. She's the only woman on site. She needs to go big here and can't even find one. Zoe, she's late to the show, rotating up a dark cover on the spike. And at this point, she's trying to spam, but she can't do a thing. That's a 9-3 half dominant for CLG.
Once again, Animal doing so much work for CLG, keeping that control of middle, not dying to Athena was key here. It doesn't matter if Bonita got traded. If Animal loses that control up to heaven to Athena, this is a completely different round for CLG Red. But you have to also think maybe Athena went a little too fast. Maybe she challenged that heaven a little too quick for my taste. If you take more time here, as we watch some of the replays of the first half, you have more chances to win these battles, because it was so early that Animal was still ready. She was still holding, like you said, in that really incredible position. One that I don't even know if I would have cleared too, to be honest.
Yeah. I mean, TSM, I don't think they're playing to their strength. I tried to talk about this a little bit earlier in that CLG, all of these players are so experienced against this type of gameplay. They're used to playing against slow defaults. They're used to playing against that counter-strikey style of play. What they probably aren't as used to is when teams go quick, when teams go for it, like the Moon Raccoons did. But TSM, they aren't showing what I expected. They're not showing that quick, that in-your-face gameplay style. And I wonder if confidence is a factor. Is the mental getting shot a little bit here?
Yeah, you have to call confidence, because like I was mentioning, when they do pause, that's when CLG is coming out on top. So when they're taking their time and trying to like potent pride, they're not successful. CLG is the better experienced team, at least in the server so far. They're showing a better display of teamwork. So I'm looking forward to seeing the TSM on the CT side, because if they do exactly what I would like them to do on the T side, which is go aggro, disrupt CLG really early on, this is where potentially they can make something happen and come back into this game. And we're going to have to see it really fast, really early, because in the last 10 rounds, CLG won 9 of it.
Yeah. TSM at the half, they need to pause. They won the pistol round last time. If they want a chance, they need to do it again. But this time, they're going to need momentum afterwards. They're going to need to build into things. And from CLG, well, what else would we expect from them but a setup for a default, what they know and what they love.
We're coming in as the second half is starting. 9-3 for CLG Red. TSM needs to win this pistol, at least to just feel a little more secure, a little less pressure on their back. They're trying to go aggro here towards B main, but Shobo is shutting that down, doing it really well here, keeping 3 players of TSM towards that B-bomb site.
Yeah. I mean, it's exactly what we expect, but Ari picks up that first frag over towards the A site, so a good start for TSM, but they again have to capitalize off of it. We see CLG sneaking their way into the vents. They're looking for something of an A split here. Athena's up top. Now she's getting pinched in from 2 angles, and the trade is through from Rise. Now Ari in here to hold the cross. A push out from Chobo. Spam's going both ways. Nothing connecting. She has to hide from the blast pack so it doesn't kill her. But Kath gets one felled as well. And Ari has to push quickly, trying to do something, but Chobo will best her in the flank through from Benita. The overheal coming up. She's so low, and Zoe will find it. Now 1-on-2, doable for Zoe. She knows at least one is held. Will she expect 2? Now she'll see that they're both here. Has 1 blind to work with. This could be huge. Both can't see the spam going every which way. Zoe can't find the shots. Now she has 1 bullet. Has to reload. Chobo hopping up and over. It's chaos. Nothing's going right except for that. Zoe picks it up, clutches the round for TSM in a pistol that they absolutely needed, Steph.
Was Shobo out of bullets? Is that what happened?
I'm not sure. That was
something. God, how did Zoe win this clutch? This is pulling TSM back into this game. I cannot believe that flash both the players. I also cannot believe they weren't able to recover in time to kill her. I wish they swung out just a little bit earlier. When they got the initial contact, they should have said, like, okay, let's swing it before she reloaded and threw that flash. But, you know, that round is in the past, and Zoe is going to do so much to keep TSM reading into this game. That was spectacular.
Emily had a rough go of things in the first half. That really needs to change for TSM into this one. This could be your chance for some free frags, for a confidence booster, which is only good for 1. Jobo has the trade back. Zoe now a little trapped inside, will blind Kath completely. Bit unfortunate, but still not a huge factor. CLG pushing through the wall. Kath from 1 up top has a heal through. They're playing this very well. Zoe just running it down with the Spectre. Finds a couple frags of her own. That's exactly what we needed to see out of TSM.
Yeah, 9-5. The difference between the amount of rounds on the scoreboard for TSM is getting smaller and smaller as they are winning 2 rounds in a row, and they're going to be on a bonus situation here. All of their players did not have to rebuy. You can see everyone kept whatever they had last round, except Emily. She died, but she is ready with the Sheriff. We have, on the other hand, all of CLG ready. So I'm excited to see how their default is going to look like, because right away you can see they want to take middle control while 2 of their players are contesting that A ramp with so much utility from TSM.
Yeah, a lot for them in this one, but Naomi has an entry onto Athena. Ori now trying to hold tight towards Hell. She does have the Judge though, the weapon for the job. She'll find the first. She can recover a gun now if she can get over the ledge. She can. All right, she figured it out. Got it going now, but Benita gets Kath unsuspecting. Ari still low, finds one, looking for more, can't do it. 3-on-2, but Zoe has the Rolling Thunder up. This is a doable retake. Rise deciding to plant in the back corner. Her teammates posturing themselves for a great post plant. Not together here. The Rolling Thunder, they know it's in play. They don't want to set themselves up in a situation where it could win them the round. So he has a lot to work with here. A lot into the round, but Chobo is in such a good spot. Finds one, but no, actually doesn't. Zoe, quicker, and now the Rolling Thunder can come out. Actually, they might not lose it here. Are they going to? Yes, here it comes, one in main. They have to deal with Benita, but she's just diggling out, taking these taps one by one. And Zoe, at this point, there's nothing she can do. That fault line actually might get one killed, but regardless, CLG Red, they're up to double digits.
Oh, I thought Zoe was gonna do it again, getting that kill into Shobo's key. She also picked up a free B weapon, so I'm like, oh no, Shobo. But at the same time, I like to play, so it's hard to be upset. You know, I think that was map control that could have been key for CLG if they don't decide to go back to spawn. But in the end, Benita securing that bomb site while the Rolling Thunder had been applied is really, really good. CLG winning another round. Double digit, I've been seeing it all day. It's a really, really important number to hit when you're playing Valorant. And this is for the first time today. Gonna be CLG getting it first.
Find that early pace. CSM, they need 5 on the trot to come back into a favorable spot. Eyes towards mid, looking for the turret. Looking for something, but the flash is good, and the push up from Chobo finds one. Nade takes care of Rise on the trade back from Emily, but here comes the showstopper. However, CLG, they're still in middle. I mean, everyone pushed away. It's not going to find them anything, nor will it pick up any space stuff. So this is a 4-on-4. And TSM, I mean, they're not going to be happy with this quite yet. They need information. They're starved of it. And Athena might get more than info. She gets an onslaught of 3. Still good to find 1. Emily up in heaven. Looking for a shot. She knows that they could exact towards B, but the rotation still a possibility. And they'll disengage for now. Leaving just Chobo towards the side of B, but she'll join the team. Look at the push down, though.
Ooh.
I mean, they're going for information here again. They need it, but this is such a big mistake. Look where they're going. They're going towards A.
I like the play, but I can't believe CLG is even smarter in this. You know, I really like the push. If CLG was going B, this would have been a perfect play, but we're going to have to see a 3 versus 3 retake as the bomb is going to get planted towards B. And this is where CLG really struggles on their post plant. And again, they're giving a lot of room. They're trying to retake that mid, but I don't know. Oh, it's for the res, maybe.
Oh no, this is a tough spot for TSM. Look how much time is being wasted just by the rotations. They have everything that they need. The perfect setup in the post plant. This is going to be so hard for TSM. They still have Zoe on the breach. They still have blinds, but look where Benita is. She's coming in behind them. A huge player in this round. Chobo has the crossfire, swinging out for 1, looking for more. And TSM's on the trades, but Benita up top. The flank comes to fruition. And Steph, that's CLG. They're already on 11.
11 round. And this is key here. Benita had that flank. The way they went back to get that res, they res. And Benita stayed there and was going towards that flank. This is not something that we saw at all on Bind. This is not something we saw at all on the last split. So CLG really finding their groove, really finding the momentum to be making these plays, to be a little more creative instead of just waiting for their demise into a bomb site that they have no control on, even after the spike is planted. My energy is getting pumped up because I like when teams bounce back. And right now, CLG Red is bouncing back.
They sure do seem to be in a better spot now. TSM, they're still playing this very similar, but this time the Ari factor's in it. She plays perfectly off her one-way to get Naomi. This is the advantage that they need, but remember, TSM had it last time, and they still couldn't win the round. Now Ari takes damage, flak on her way away. A heal could be a possibility, and CLG, ever slow, ever present, will start to make their way towards mid.
Nothing is secured here into this round. Yes, CLG is down by 1. Might be the first time, too, that they get first blooded on But TSM still has really good position. There's 3 people towards that mid, so it's not looking that great. And they're hearing all of that rotation, the sound that they're doing right now, CLG. I don't know if it's on purpose. It might be just a bait to have that rotation being pulled off. But all of TSM is either mid or in B right now.
30 seconds left.
That's huge for Animal. Out comes the Bucky from Emily. Damage, no kill. Animal for 2. Emily again forced to retreat, but look, they're already on site. They're already fighting. Zoe's here, but only finds a pick. This could be match point, and it looks like it, as Emily is forced to clutch a 1v3. We've seen Kath do it before her. But Emily needs to step it up. I mean, Zoe too. Emily needs her turn. She needs to come into this. Out comes a showstopper. No, my God, it doesn't connect, but she still has 2. The frags for Emily. The last towards main. She can hold the spike to half, but she has the wrong read coming up behind her. And this could be all but over. And his Rise shuts down the chances and will pick up match point.
I really thought we were going to see another 1v3 versus CLG Red right now, but not going to be able to close it. And you know, TSM can't be in this situation. They can't ask all of their players to win a 1 versus 3 at some point. It just doesn't make any sense. So they have to just be better. How did we lose this round if we're TSM? We had all the information in the world. We were ready. Every TSM player was towards B and middle, and still we're losing all of our fights. We're at match point for CLG, and TSM really does not have the right book here as a read against CLG.
Yeah, and here comes Benita. She is feeling it now. She's just charging in with the Reyna. Empress, she's an unstoppable force, just sending it all the way towards defender side spawn. Athena shows herself down in hell, and Shobo gives some damage away. Benita trying to fight. Here come the flashes though from Zoe. Into the heavens. They come, they have to go big, they have to live here. But Benita is still finding frag, so is Chobo. Taps away for 1. And Zoe is asked the impossible. A 1 versus 5. Just a judge. Very little utility to work with. She has the stun to keep them away, but has to push into a slow. And CLG 13-5. They run away with things over TSM in map 1.
They were really never contested. I'm very surprised. I'm surprised in 2 ways. Surprised that CLG was so dominant right after losing versus Moon Raccoon. And also I'm surprised that TSM never were able to find their groove. They looked much better versus Dignitas yesterday. So is it a fact of CLG is coming in warmed up, is coming in you know, just a little bit of better cohesion because it's not their first game of the day and TSM never really woke up? Are we gonna see TSM be a little more on point into map 2? This is a very exciting situation to be in.
Yeah. One
thing for sure is you're not getting your 2-0 TSM.
My prediction is washed away pretty magnificently. Is it too late to jump ship? No. I'm gonna trust in them. I'm still predicting TSM 2-1. I think that they have a chance to come back into it, and I think that could start with Icebox. But the TSM we saw here, it's not who we know. I talked about the aggression. That's what they excel at, and they didn't do it at all. They were so passive. They just sat there and they waited. And CLG, they played that perfectly. They didn't even seem to break a sweat in that game.
An Animal coming so big, you know, she probably hit the 20 bombs because last time I remember seeing she was at 19 kills and I was way early in the round. So the ringer for CLG coming in clutch, and I'm super excited because right after the break, we're gonna jump into map number 2.